If somebody told Todd that I needed to shape up or leave, Todd would pack my bags for me.
Coming up on the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City after show.
The second I have to take a leak, you call Heather?
How about Bronwyn? These are my friends much more than they're your friends.
100%.
So.
Where's my FaceTime call?
Lisa's got to stop, or you guys got to go.
No fighting on this trip. That'd be like saying, don't ever have a Diet Coke again, Lisa. Like,
maybe include everybody, Todd.
Meredith, I have some bad news. I have to leave early to go back to Ohio.
He should have just never came, because that takes a toll on the relationship.
The rumors and nastiness about her.
This guy let you in his house after you're saying there's rumors and nastiness about him.
Let me make this abundantly clear. I don't need to think about Sean having sex.
The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City after show starts now.
I wanted an update on what was happening in Palm Springs, but I had too much pride to like text anybody or be like, what's happening? You know, so when Lisa called, I was happy. I mean, I love the way our friendship is right now.
I was thrilled to see that, but Bronwyn was not.
Feels a little shady to call her and be like, we miss you, we miss you. Everybody thinks that Heather's the one that's missed. Figure it out, Lisa. When it's me and somebody else, it's my responsibility to work out. But when it's you and someone else, my ass better ride your dick like it's my job, Lisa.
because you're upset with Heather, I don't need to be upset with Heather. I can still be a good friend to you and be good with Heather. I'm not a shitty friend. And I'm like, you are upset that I'm not thinking the same way you are.
Lisa's not neutral. Lisa's not understanding my point of view. She is firmly here to wave the Heather flag. Before she got on the plane, this was happening. I called Lisa before Palm Springs, and I really said, are you going to be okay with you coming? Are John and Justin going to be fine? I really gassed Lisa up. And then there was like a weird ghosty moment of she wouldn't respond to texts or calls. And I did not know if she was coming.
First sign of war is Lisa ghosts you.
I'm realizing that. So her and Meredith sit on the plane and they tell me over and over that I'm misunderstanding Heather.
When Heather's your friend, she's really your friend.
And that they feel sorry she's not here and all these things. And I'm like, okay. There's like no other venue you guys could talk about this in other than to me. Like, I don't want Heather here, like, and for good reason. I knew where Lisa's alliance was and her loyalty was, but I was very shocked and very angry that she FaceTimed Heather.
I'm like, we're all friends with Heather, and from what I understood, you wanted Heather on this trip, so I don't know why you're upset that I'm calling her. And, you know, maybe in hindsight, I should have just gone into my room and called her privately, but we were all talking about missing Heather, so I'm like, oh, let's call her.
That didn't feel like supporting Heather or feeling sorry for my friend who's not on this trip. That felt like antagonizing me.
Yeah,
just to make me mad, and it did.
And I wanted Heather there, too, obviously.
Yeah.
And it was literally seconds after you got out of the hot tub.
She was waiting for an opening.
She's been spending a lot of time with Angie and Whitney, and I think it's easy for her to like start hearing them say all these like bullshit things about me and like assimilating to their opinions.
She's got them on her shoulder.
Yeah, and I think they're like committed to telling everyone I'm a bad friend. I mean, they did it with Meredith in Milwaukee.
They're trying to poison the well.
And now, yeah,
basically.
they're trying to poison the well. And I don't get friends like that. Like, I don't start being friends with someone because of my disdain for somebody else.
Right.
Lisa is still yet to ask me what happened at my house. But she not only heard Heather's side, but continued to parrot it for everybody else to hear. Just felt like a very odd choice. If my friends are fighting, I either want them to fix it or I stay out of it. But I don't choose one side without even knowing the other. So sometimes things hurt your feelings because they're true and they need to inspire change, and sometimes they're just malicious. And that was malicious to call Heather.
It's not abnormal to want to check in on your friend. But do I think you need to throw it in her face? No.
Well, it's offensive to me that just you guys being friends with me in front of Bronwyn or behind her back is offensive in any way. How about Bronwyn? These are my friends much more than they're your friends.
100%.
So, like, you should give them a little bit of grace if they want to, like, reach out. It's a FaceTime. They didn't invite me and have me show up and make my own T-shirt and participate in all the activities.
What does your shirt say?
All tricks, no trust. Oh, it's custom.
Do you think Angie would have like been at peace with me if I had just invited her over to tell her I wasn't inviting her because we weren't friends?
No, exactly. And I'm supposed to just like take it on the chin and roll with it.
Heather gets a FaceTime call, and I'm like, well, what about me? Like, where's my FaceTime call? So I kind of waited around. No one called me. And meanwhile, you know, Meredith and I had this great moment in Milwaukee where Meredith helped me compose a breakup text to Jared, and she offered, you know, her therapist. And I was expecting to hear.
Therapist.
I was expecting to hear from her. I didn't hear anything from her either. And I'm like, doo-doo-doo, what am I doing? I just felt left behind.
You know, I felt bad that I wasn't included, and there's a part of me that just was like, they're having a great time without me. Like they could just go on their merry way, and that would be devastating to me. And so to be remembered and to have her reach out, like, just made me feel good, you know, that I wasn't forgotten.
Going on the trip, I was like trepidatious because of the mafia party.
I didn't do it to you! She's a liar,
She's not a
She's a liar.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, this liar, liar, pants on fire girl. But like, as soon as we got there and I got into a bathing suit, I just feel like it was like problem.
The second I have to take a leak, you call Heather?
Not your problem.
I want to be friends with Heather. I tried to apologize to Heather. Listen to the difference.
Not your problem.
When it's me and somebody else, it's my responsibility to work out. But when it's you and someone else, my ass better ride your dick like it's my job, Lisa.
I felt like nothing I did was right. And then Todd had a conversation with John. And I'm like, oh my God, why the did I come?
What's going on?
All the bullshit, it's got to stop. Lisa's got to stop, or you guys got to go.
Wow. That's the first time I've seen he really loves her. Because they just throw jabs at each other.
He has gout. I have sex with someone who is old enough to have gout. Like, it is horrifying, Ash.
See, I love Todd now.
Todd's telling of it to me, and Todd is very blunt and very factual and very short words, like a few words, like Justin is. So I'm sorry, everybody else, I only believe Todd in this scenario. Todd told me that he went to John and said, this has to stop.
I wasn't coming to spend the weekend here to sit through a bunch of arguments. So it's got to stop.
And John said, so are you telling me we have to leave? And I heard from Todd that he said, I'm not saying you have to leave, but it has to stop. And if it can't stop, then maybe you should choose to leave.
Lisa's got to stop, or you guys got to go.
There was no Todd wanting them to leave. Todd wanted them to stay, but he wanted the bullshit to stop, for sure. I have a feeling that has been told to Lisa or heard in her mind as Todd tried to kick them out.
He said, if it can't be settled out, then he wants us to go.
And I'm okay with that, because Todd probably should have kicked them out, honestly.
I think it's pretty big of Todd to, you know, tell them, tone it down or leave, because Bronwyn and Lisa and John and Todd were friends. And now you've got Todd saying, you better shape up or we're going to ship you out.
And men don't want to be around all that.
I really don't want to have a weekend of drama with these people. I've had enough of this. I've had a whole weekend's worth in 3 hours. And I'm not sitting through this all weekend. And this is bullshit.
I mean, was Todd not prepped about this trip? I'm like, no fighting on this trip. That's like asking for like Jesus to come down right now and take me home. Like,
maybe include everybody, Todd.
That'd be like saying, don't ever have a Diet Coke again, Lisa. Like, I mean, if you didn't want any fighting, just go on your trip with Bronwyn.
Although I think they fight quite a bit.
At the time I wanted to fix it, now I would tell you this. If somebody told Todd that I needed to shape up or leave, Todd would pack my bags for me. He would not have told me to shape up, even if he believed I needed to. And so I kind of feel like if John didn't have the guts to tell Lisa, shape up or pack, he just told her to calm down, then that's between the two of them, not Lisa and Todd. Todd didn't tell Lisa to shape up. Lisa knew she wanted a free trip, so she had to get her shit together to stay. And that's not on me or Todd.